if you've ever been paintballing and now you have an altered sense of your own survivability, go ahead and click like and subscribe. So today we are talking about something a bit different. Should you buy copper? Well, good question. It just so happens that recently I picked up a interesting purchase. Now, let's just get one thing straight. Copper, I totally realise, is not a precious metal. It is a base metal, and this might make you feel sick if you're a hardcore gold bullion enthusiast. I get that, but it just has to be done. So there we go, 1 kilogram of Leipziger copper. Nice. Now that would be really nice if that was a gold bar, wouldn't it? So why have I bought a copper bullion bar? Very simple. Electrification. I believe that we are at the beginning of the third kind of industrial revolution, where we're looking at, like I said, the electrification of everything. Vehicles especially going to be very important. Copper is arguably the most common commodity in the history of civilization. I mean, its abundant use in society can be found commonly in cars, televisions, generators. Any household appliance you look at, it's got copper in it, okay? This widespread use is a prime indicator that copper will always be in demand in one form or another. So I picked this up. I paid £21, basically worked out a kilogram for this bar. Now basically current spot price works out in pounds about £6.50 or $9 it would be. I've paid a massive premium to own this kilogram bar. It's outrageous, like 60% basically, something like that. Am I bothered? Not really. This was kind of an odd pickup. It was something I just punted on, and I think I'm seeing a lot more. I did a bit of research. I'm seeing a lot more bars, bullion bars, coming up for sale. Now you can pick up a bar that's not minted by or it's got any kind of stamp on it for probably a lot cheaper. But I am a bit of a snob when it comes to my bullion and coinage. I like things to be, I like Royal Mint coins because they're a known mint around the world, and I like stuff from the American Mint. I like, I'm not a great fan of hand poured stuff in the back garden, only because when it comes to shift it may be tricky verifying what it is, But why? Let's look at copper versus gold. This is I think this is only 4 kilograms. I have got another, believe it, another 15 kilograms coming. So it's a bit of an odd amount, but it was a friend of mine had this, and I thought this is too good an opportunity. Too good opportunity to miss, really. And I just thought, I'm going to have a lot of you, and just sit on it, really. So, copper does tarnish. I need to keep it in this wrapper. Hopefully it won't turn green. But let's just talk about, say, copper versus silver. Silver wire is roughly 7% more conductive than copper in the same length, but silver is significantly rarer than copper. Okay, I'm talking about this, and it's become more clear my reasons for talking about this in a minute. Comes back to the use in industry. Although the performance difference between copper and silver is obvious. There's a few reasons that copper wire is used more frequently than silver. Obviously, silver wire is obviously generally reserved for more sensitive things, you know, specialty electronics, telecommunications, where high conductivity over a small distance is the priority. But you've got to think of the abundance of copper compared to silver. You're not going to see silver in electric vehicles in upcoming electrification. There's significantly more naturally occurring copper than silver, obviously, on the Earth. Silver's obviously rarer than copper. It's a much higher performing metal in some ways, and therefore it's significantly more expensive to get silver than copper. So, you know, that's a downside of silver. You know, silver is also prone to the effects of oxidation, particularly in humid climates and highly acidic soils. You know, conductive metals like copper all react to water, oxygen and sulfur and degrade over time, and they become a lot less efficient in moving electricity. Yeah, the only exception would be gold, and basically, you know, silver has got a very high rate of degradation compared to its cost, so it's going to be a very poor choice for use in electrical vehicles and the up and coming electrification. It has obviously got a use. I'll come on to that. I mean, obviously copper is used in wires, connectors, circuits and other electrical parts across all major industries, where when you think that silver is just generally just a small component in specialty electronics, telecommunications and sensitive systems, you know, industrial grade switches and you know, contacts and things like that. So it's just a completely different beast. You know, you can't really compare. You know, should you invest silver or should you invest in copper? You know, people have said it's a fool's game buying copper bars because of the outrageous premium you pay to have it in this format, when you consider you could just go and buy some tubes down a hardware store. But, you know, I don't want to look back. This is just literally something. I'm going to stick this pile of copper that I'm going to get. It's going to go under, you know, under the house, in the vault. It's going to be there 5-10 years. I just sit on it. And who knows what will happen in 10 years' time to the price of copper. It could become you know, its status could change. You know, we are talking about Volkswagen are electrifying the whole of their fleet. I think looking to do that by 2030 or something. You just think about that for a minute. That's just Volkswagen. The amount of copper needed to do that is gonna be outrageous. You know, I just can't believe. You know, I mean, to mine this and the overheads, the cost and demand is going to be, I believe, is going to be insane. And right now, copper's just not on the radar because it's just a bit dull, a bit boring. You know, everyone's seen it. But, you know, you just look at the prices at the moment. We're nearly at all-time highs. And we're not even, you know, we're just beginning to touch into the upcoming electrification. So, anyway, you know, I believe electrification is going to be massive in the future. Copper is going to be needed in humongous quantities to power electric vehicles and any other kind of things with motors in. And you know, I just feel like for what is a relatively small investment, sod the premium. I just don't care. You know, if copper goes to £100 a kilogram at some point, then that's nice. And if it doesn't, you know, there's a far worse things I could have done with a few $100 than punted on this while the price is still relatively low. You know, so it's up to you. You know, you could get a copper bar like this with a stamp, purities on it, or you could get some hand poured thing and save yourself probably 30% premium at least. So yeah, worst case scenario, it's going to make a lovely paperweight. Anyway, I hope you like this video. Let me know and leave any comments or questions, and I'll see you soon.